All right. All right. So, court reporter, let's go on the record,
Okay.
and I'll identify myself and the case matter, the hearing. Can y'all hear me okay? I'm using the speakerphone because it's easier. Can you hear me though?
Yes.
Okay. This is Russell Fisk, Associate General Counsel for the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission. We're here today for the hearing for the first phase of the petition of Sierra Communications for ETC designation. This first phase concerning the eligibility for broadband program benefits. The case docket number is 20-00086-UT. And if all of the participants could identify themselves, I guess we should, let's start with staff's counsel and then staff, and then the petitioner's counsel and petitioner's witness.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joan Ellis, and I am the staff counsel, and I am with Mr. Mark Cesarich, who is staff's witness this afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Bagatko, and I'm riding along with Miss Ellis, who's lead counsel for staff. Thank you for having us today.
Mike Ripperger, Telecom Bureau Chief, just here like John, just sort of watching.
William Templeman, counsel for Sierra Communications. And Paul Breach is the witness for Sierra Communications. I believe he's on the line as well. Mr. Breach, are you on board?
If he needs more time, then was he on the line before?
Yeah.
This is Russell, by the way.
It looks like he just needs to unmute himself.
Okay.
I just can't hear him.
Paul, can you unmute your phone? Paul, nod if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, there you are. Good. All right.
Huh, I'll be darned. Yeah, I just finally got something with an unmute. So sorry about that. Paul Breach, General Manager, Vice President, Sierra Communications.
And let's see this. This is everyone except Commissioner Vicente Aguilar. Are you online?
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Commissioner Vicente Aguilar. Thank you.
And we have Isaac Sullivan Leshin, paralegal for the Office of General Counsel. And I believe that's everybody. All right. So let's see. I know that there were some procedural issues agreed to by the parties. I'm looking at I'm sorry. Could you just summarize what has been agreed to and what hasn't been? I'm looking at those emails. I don't see anything about the order of examination. But Bill or Joan, whichever you wants to go ahead and discuss the procedure, please go ahead.
This is Bill Templeman. There are no interveners in the case, so the proposal would be for me to go first, calling Mr. Breach as a witness on behalf of Sierra Communications, and then Ms. Ellis could cross-examine, and then if you had any questions, Mr. Fisk, you could ask them, and if Commissioner Vicente Aguilar has any questions, she could ask them, and then I would have the opportunity for redirect. And then staff would call Mr. Cesarich as a witness. I would cross if I had any, and then Mr. Fisk questions, Commissioner Vicente Aguilar questions, and then Joan Ellis would have redirect. I don't think we have any disputes about exhibits or anything else at this point in time of a procedural nature. So at least from Sierra's standpoint, I'm prepared to move forward and call Mr. Breach as a witness.
Joan, does that sound good to you?
Yes, that's summarizes exactly what we have discussed. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Then let's go ahead and do that.
So Sierra Communications would call Paul Barish and ask that he be sworn as a witness.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Will you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Paul Braish.
Mr. Barish, by whom are you employed and in what capacity?
I am Vice President and General Manager of Sierra Communications.
In that regard, have you been involved in preparation of Sierra Communications petition and testimony in this proceedings?
Yes, I have.
Do you have in front of you copies of exhibits SC-1 and SC-2?
Yes, I do.
So if you'll refer first to exhibit SC-1, is this the verified petition of Sierra Communications, Inc. for designation as an eligible telecommunications carrier for a limited purpose?
Yes, yes, it is.
And that's for use in this proceeding, is that correct?
That's correct.
Were you involved in the preparation of this petition?
Yes, I was.
And did you supply a written verification that accompanies this petition in which you state that the statements in the petition are true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, sir.
Has anything occurred since the filing of this petition that would cause you to make any changes or corrections to the petition?
No, nothing has occurred.
Do you today adopt the statements in the verified petition as your testimony under oath today, and would you be in a position to answer questions with regard to the verified petition?
Yes.
Then if you'll also look at exhibit SC-2, is this rebuttal testimony that you filed on behalf of Sierra Communications on August 14, 2020 in this case?
Yes, sir.
Was this testimony prepared by you or under your direction?
Yes, it was.
Do you have any changes or corrections to make to the testimony at this time?
No, I do not.
If I were to ask you the same questions that are contained in this rebuttal testimony today under oath, would your answers be the same as are reflected in the written rebuttal testimony?
Yes, they would be the same.
Mr. Hearing Examiner, at this time I would offer into evidence exhibits SC-1 and SC-2 on behalf of Sierra Communications.
No objection.
Thank you, Joan. Exhibits SC1 and SC2 are admitted.
And I have no further questions at this time.
All right, so now it's Joan's cross-examination, I believe.
Yes, yes. And actually, I have no cross-examination. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I don't have any questions for Mr. Barish. Commissioner Vicente Aguilar, do you have any questions for Mr. Barish?
No questions.
All right, then, well, there would be no redirects because there was no examination other than the direct. So, Mr. Barish, there may be other questions that come up for you later in the hearing, but at this time you are excused as witness.
Thank you.
Staff would
And I
like,
believe we're,
yeah,
go ahead, John.
staff would like to call Mr. Mark Cesarich to the stand, and may he be sworn, please. Mark, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Is he on? I don't see him.
He is on, you
Yeah.
may have to move your cursor at the top to find his window.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cesarich.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ellis and everybody.
Would you please state your name, your address, as it may be, and your position?
Yes, my name is Mark Cesarich. I'm employed by the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission in the Telecommunications Bureau. My address as of now is 1120 Paseo de Peralta, Santa Fe, New Mexico, 87504, room 363. And I am a utility economist in the Telecom Bureau.
Thank you, Mr. Cesarich. And Mr. Cesarich, did you cause to be filed comments which the hearing examiner has designated as direct testimony in this case?
Yes,
Have you read the rebuttal testimony of Mr. Breach?
yes.
Are there any changes in your testimony that would be required as a response to some of the comments in Mr. Breach?
Yes, I have a couple of changes.
Okay,
Um,
please state the page and the line in your testimony that would be changed.
Certainly. If you go to my particular, my testimony, prepared comments, if you go to page 10,
Yes,
line 15, I'd like to add 2 words right after the word constitutes. And those 2 words would be part of. I would like it to completely read, starting at the end of line 14, the project location constitutes part of the proposed ETC service area for Sierra, comma, etc.
okay. And what is your understanding from Mr. Breach's rebuttal testimony that the ETC designated area will be?
What I would like to add is that the ETC service area proposed by Sierra for the limited purposes of this petition is the entirety of Colfax County, New Mexico.
Yes, and when you were doing your prepared direct testimony, you weren't exactly clear about that. Is that correct?
That's correct. I had unfortunately just like I had mentioned before, just said that the project location constitutes the whole proposed ETC service area, but it does not. It includes the entirety of Colfax County, New Mexico.
Okay, and that was specifically, you were informed about that specifically in Mr. Breach's rebuttal. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you have no problems with that?
I do not.
Okay, and I believe this is something that on page 16, line 8, were you still back in the days of Plateau rather than Sierra?
I think unfortunately, I would like to have the word plateau erased and the word inserted would be Sierra.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
Mr. Cesarich, can you tell me whether in the rebuttal testimony or subsequent to that testimony, that you were provided all the material that you requested in your direct testimony.
That's correct.
And on staff exhibit 1 would be your direct testimony, is that correct? With
I believe
those
so,
correct-
yes. Yes.
And a staff exhibit 2 is basically the combination of 3 particular financial statements that Sierra provided to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you have an opportunity to talk with the company and with the staff to discuss those financial statements?
Yes.
And is it your decision or opinion that those 3 documents, which are going to be labeled Staff Exhibit 2, provide sufficient evidence that you are saying that they have the financial competency to provide this ETC
Yes.
designation? Okay. And on Exhibit 3, is this also a part of what you had requested them to do?
Yes.
And can you describe what that is? That's Staff Exhibit 3.
I had asked for additional financial information. The executives and lead party of Sierra Communication and Management.
Okay, that's fine. So do you consider, is it your opinion at this time as the expert witness that Sierra has the financial and technical competency necessary to become designated as an ETC for the limited purposes?
Yes.
Mr. Hearing Examiner, staff would like to move into evidence Staff Exhibit 1, which is the direct testimony as changed by Mr. Cesarich, as he just said, as Staff Exhibit 1. Staff Exhibit 2 would be the financials that were given to staff and to Mr. Cesarich, which he discussed with the company. And I would like that to be Staff Exhibit 2. And Staff Exhibit 3 will be the ownership and the details of Sierra. So I would like those 3 introduced into evidence. I am not going to have an Exhibit 4.
Okay, Bill, do you have any objection?
No objection.
All right, those exhibits are admitted.
Thank you. I would therefore pass the witness.
Bill, do you have any questions?
I have no questions of Mr. Cesarich.
I, as a hearing examiner, have no questions for Mr. Cesarich. Commissioner Vicente Aguilar, do you have any questions?
No questions.
All right, so there will also be no redirect. So it looks like we've gotten through both our witnesses. This is a very quick trial. There are no other witnesses, am I correct?
That is
None for-
correct.
None for Sierra.
All right, and well, gee, I guess that is it. And because this request for broadband program eligibility, ETC designation is not opposed, and staff is fully satisfied. I'm fully satisfied. I'm planning to issue an RD that would grant this first phase of the petition. And I would ask that the parties would waive exceptions. Except
Yes.
possibly if there was any wording, if you had disagreement with any wording, I would understand if you need to file something, but please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think with that proviso, we would waive exceptions clearly on the ultimate award that you intend to recommend. To the extent there may be anything that we thought was unclear or ambiguous, I suppose we might raise it. But I wouldn't think that would significantly delay the effectiveness of the process here to get to a commission for consideration of the recommended decision.
No, I don't think it would. Because and Joan, you said you would waive as well. Did you say that?
Yes, yes. You know, with all the provisos that Mr. Templeman had, but I see no problems, and if it's fairly straightforward, we certainly would waive exceptions.
Okay, excellent. Well, I think as both of you know, the next commission meeting is not until October 7th, I believe. I will, I'm not going to set a deadline for myself because I don't have to for the RD, but I'll probably get it out sometime next week. I could go the week after though, and then place this matter on the agenda for October 7th. Is that right? Is that the right? I think, is that right? Did they get the calendaring right there? October 7th is the next.
That's correct. October 7th is the next meeting.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe I should give myself a deadline. It might be unfair. I don't know if other hearing examiners do, but I'll give myself plenty of time. Let's see here. So October 7th. Let's see. I'm going to give myself to October 2nd. So I'll get an RD out by October 2nd.
Okay, thank you. May I just raise an issue of scheduling?
Please do, Joan. Please go ahead.
On Wednesday, October 7th, it seems that we have the hearing for Continental Divide scheduled for that same day. Is it the commission's anticipation that the hearing would be conducted in the afternoon and the open meeting be conducted in the morning?
Yes. In fact, I think that's why the hearing was initially set for an afternoon on a Wednesday, so that because it was initially set to be before the commission, and they like to have any hearing they attend, they like to have it the same day as the open meeting. But it's always the open meeting at 9:30 a.m. and whatever hearing it is in the afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to
The
clarify that.
Divide hearing is scheduled for 2 o'clock that afternoon as well now. So
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to confirm that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, does anyone else have anything? I mean, we're not doing close. Obviously, we're past all that. I don't think anyone has anything to add, right? But I can't see any of you, so I just want to give any of you a chance to. Yes, Commissioner.
This is Commissioner Vicente Aguilar. I want to thank the entire staff that's working on the broadband applications and also the parties from the applicants. You know, during the pandemic era, we want to make sure that everybody is given the chance to share their views and streamline the process. And kudos to Russell Fisk, Isaac from the General Counsel's office, Joan Ellis. You've been very upfront about how things should be. And thank you very much. I just feel very appreciative.
You're quite welcome. And Commissioner, we appreciate all the work that you have done as chairperson.
You're welcome.
Yes, Commissioner, thank you so much. And it really is so nice that you always remember to recognize the contributions that have been made by staff and other members of the commission. Telecom staff has been so busy, and they've still managed to meet all these deadlines, and they're doing great. So with that, I guess we could go ahead and close the hearing. Thank you.
Thanks very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.